Alright, so this is my Rotary Tool Lab project. This is the video evidence. This is my information. And I can say that this project was actually more challenging than I thought it was going to be. I'm not too familiar with rotary tools. I have a Dremel, but I hardly ever use it. So anyway, moving on. So the first thing I did was I figured I could try carving um, with the Dremel. That's something that I had wanted to do in the past, especially with the checkering lab that I just finished. I wanted to have a stock that I could carve something and then also add checkering. Um, as you can tell, I used tattoo transfer paper to put the outline onto the stock, and I used this bit. This bit is it's like a high-speed cutter. It's not very narrow though, so I ended up having really wide um, outline markings, um, more so than I wanted to. And now I'm putting in the ink where I'm gonna kind of shave down some more to maybe add a little bit more 3D to effect. But like I said, with the cutter, it ended up kind of taking off too much material, almost to the point that it looks stupid. In all honesty, it wasn't happy with it. It looks like it was done by a kindergartner. Um, I just didn't like it. So in a few minutes, you'll see me. There's another bit that's for engraving, and it has a very, 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 very fine point. Um, it's like a triangular prism with the point, and so above what this is, I just kind of freehand draw something real quick, just to see if I like the outline better. And I did, but I still haven't figured out how to blend the outline with the shading too much. This is only about 14, 15 minutes worth of video, but I spent a whole day just engraving different stocks, trying different techniques, and it just wasn't satisfied with it. So I'm gonna have to figure something else out so I can do this in the future. So this was buffing. These are the second thing that I could do with the Dremel tool. Now the pieces that I've got, this is the brass piece from brass butt plate from the muzzle loader lab that I finished maybe a couple months ago into beginning of December time frame. I'm using a polishing compound and I'm wearing a respirator and safety glasses, and it's kind of hard to see, but if you look closely, um, the next time I go and get some polishing compound on the buffing wheel, it ends up spraying compound dust and everything all over me. And you kind of see it on my shirt now, and my respirator has um, the fine particles of dust and white, almost looks like paint on it from this. But anyway, I was gonna polish all of these pieces this way, but when I finished the butt plate, I noticed that I still had some file marks on the brass from when I was building the muzzle loader. So I'm gonna have to go back and um, buff out, or like use some wet dry abrasive and get rid of those file marks. Then I'm gonna have to rebuff it out. But I was really praised. It came out like a mirror finish, minus the file marks. So as I was looking around my house, trying to figure out what I could do for a third video evidence project, it dawned on me that I don't really have anything that firearms-wise that needs a Dremel. Um, but then I remembered that I had this Polymer 80 just tucked away in a closet. I bought about 3, 4 months ago when version 2s were coming out, and I got it from Midway USA for like $30. So if I jack it up, I really don't care. Um, anyway, so the end mill that I had, or I'm sorry, the end mill bit that came with the jig, it doesn't fit in my drill press, and I don't want to go buy a new drill press just yet, but I'm gonna have to eventually. So eventually I'll get it. But anyway, to get the front right on the frame and lower the extra down to the frame rails, I was thinking, well, if I can't use an end mill, maybe I can use a Dremel. So I'm using actually just the sanding drum to roughly get rid of most of the polymer and plastic. I'll finish it up with some files and some abrasive paper and things like that. But interestingly enough, I am going to have to invest in a face shield. You keep seeing me like wipe my arm, and it's sped up so you can't really tell completely. But there's a couple of times when pieces would, some of the plastic would fly off and hit me in the forehead or my ear or something like that. So I am going to have to get a full face shield to continue doing this kind of work, just because the safety glasses, although they're protecting my eyes, they're not protecting my face, and it's just not worth it. But anyway, um, this was the third thing, and just quick down and dirty, get rid of them as much as I could. I could use a grinding stone or a cutoff wheel if I wanted to just try and keep it flat and level, but I decided to just do it this way, just to get the majority of the metal, and then I'll go back with some files and do the precision work. But anyway, thank you, and enjoy the class.